These 5 talents have been extremely effective for me in the early game, and one of them you're probably not expecting. But before you're even able to use talents, you do have to make sure you've done the main story quest, Jackdaw's Rest. You'll just have to sit through maybe 10 hours of very engaging, interesting tutorial story hand-holding. But once that's out the way, here's what you're gonna need. Keep in mind that you are not able to respec in this game, meaning that you cannot reallocate your talent points once you spend them, so be sure to spend them wisely. With that being said, the first talent I highly recommend you getting is actually in the core talent tree, which is called Swift. Now, if anyone has ever played Elden Ring before, and you know Bloodhound Step, you kinda know where I'm going with this, but this is comparable to that. Plus, they already have the Knight's Armor from Elden Ring, so honestly, you might as well just get it. Swift, as the name implies, is an extremely fast get in and get out tool, so if you're being pressured in the corner, for example, you can just use it and just teleport away pretty much. The enemy really can't do anything to you at that point. But Swift has been really helpful for me. It's an all-around spell. I actually would be surprised if people opt out for this. It's that useful. It's just a better roll. I don't see why you wouldn't want to have it. This is my bread and butter. You can use this to get in and use Incendio, because my finger hurts since I'm only pressing the attack button, or you can just use it in the overworld to quickly travel around. I really recommend you getting this. It'd actually be kind of weird if you don't have it. Why don't you have it? The next spell you're gonna want to grab on your road to wizard mastery. I really needed to do that at some point. These next 2 talents will go hand in glove, and it is going to be Blood Curse and Stunning Curse. Now, what this is going to do, Blood Curse makes it so there's 2 cursed enemies on the field, and you hit one of them, the other one is actually going to be taking damage. But when you combine that with Stunning Curse, you actually get a very effective way to spread curses throughout a fight while taking very minimal damage. Something that they have dedicated talents that will put curse on people, but honestly, cursing them by doing a parry or a block, to me, feels much more effective, because not only do you not have to wait for any spell cooldown, but you can do it even while you're mid-combo by protecting yourself from other people, and you can curse the same person you're comboing. It's actually kind of nuts. To use this effectively though, I'm going to just tell you the truth. Unlike a lot of these guides out here, I'm not just going to tell you to use Avada Kedavra and be the 15th clone of that. I'm going to tell you that you're going to need to learn how to play the game, because if not, you will get skill checked very hard, so you might as well go through the growing pains right now. So here's a quick commercial. You see how our friendly black mage here is getting bullied? That is because he's not using Protega. You see, Protega, once you get used to this is going to help you a lot. This not only helps you to build meter, which I'll be talking about later in the video, but it also helps you to deal consistent damage while you're also being protected. Why wouldn't you want to, perfect parry, build up your ancient magic meter, stuff like that, right? Just be like our friend here, because he obviously uses Like I previously mentioned, learning how to perfect block, or just blocking in general, will really help you out in your gameplay, and I feel like you should just go to the biggest crowd of enemies you can find, and just try practicing, focusing on one enemy, and blocking whenever you see or feel that you're gonna get hit. It's really helpful, which is why I recommend the talent Protego Absorption, because, like I mentioned before, it helps to build up your magic meter. Now, for the final talent I recommend, this is actually the one I don't expect you guys to really understand how useful this can be, and this is actually in the Room of Requirement talent tree, and it's going to be Fertilizer. I have rarely seen anyone talk about the Room of Requirement talent tree, and even fewer people, if any at all, talk about Fertilizer. What Fertilizer does is, when you throw out that small chain chomp looking piranha plant, Mario hybrid thing, when you throw that out on the ground, when you use one, it throws out another one for free. And at first I thought it was a waste of time, but when I bought the talent, I was actually really surprised. The damage is not even bad for these small plant-looking creature things. Anyway, if you need more help when you're fighting people, or if you just want to break up the aggro, honestly, these plants could be a viable option. And because it's only 1 point on your talent tree, I don't feel like you're going to be wasting much of anything, even if you buy these. The only downside is, since it's a consumable, you will have to replant them to get more of it back. But honestly, I don't feel like that's much of a problem, really. Plants do 33 damage per hit, which is honestly pretty decent chip damage. Personally, I'd recommend it because the later talents in that tree look pretty decent. But you're probably wondering, how does this all fit together? Why am I getting these talents in particular? I don't want to waste my skill points. And this is what I have to say for that. Just do it, lol. If you didn't notice, we picked out a specific set of talents that would help us to really focus on parrying and getting in and out. Swift enables us to get close to the enemy, so we can either do Incendio or we can parry up close. Both Stunning Curse and Protego Absorption will allow us to not only benefit from blocking and doing perfect parries, but it also allows us to curse the enemy. while Blood Curse will allow it so if there's 2 cursed enemies on the field and you hit one, you will be hitting the other at the same time. Meanwhile, Fertilization would help to keep the damage going through chip damage, and ideally, when they be hitting cursed enemies, it's going to be spreading to the other cursed enemies as well. Overall, it's going to be a pretty decent DPS build, I feel like, and this is why I feel like these are the 5 best talents you could have right now. And yes, if you're new here, this amount of quality goes into all my videos, so subscribing now would make me very happy. Clicking this video right here, ideally my Black Mage guide should have been uploaded by now, but if not, I have a playlist here of my best work. See you later, my people. Love and light.